Hey y'all, it's your girl Missniecytv, and I'm here to do a review for Sistas Season 6, Episode 10. The episode starts off with Maurice talking to Logan in his office, and Maurice is telling Logan that Sabrina had nothing to do with the robbery, and it was all him and Q. And he was the one that told Q to set everything up. And Logan was like, tell me the other names of the other co-conspirators. And Maurice is like, well, I don't know them. I only know Q. Logan was like, the surveillance footage is lying. Because what I seen, you were being held at gunpoint at the robbery. Maurice was like, yeah, I was doing some very good acting. I went to theater school. And I was actually the one that told Q how to do everything because it's a chain of command. Logan was like, if that's so, you're looking at 15 years. He was like, well, I'm ready to testify because Sabrina didn't do anything. Logan's like, I know she did. Maurice is like, no, she didn't. Logan was like, if this is so, then I'm going to have to talk to the DA and tell her everything that you told me. Since you're out on bail, I really can't do much. Logan, if you really believe that man, you really need to go seek some help. Because you can't tell the difference between the truth and sarcasm. Pam was home minding her good business for once, and she gets a call from Aaron. And Aaron calls her and asks, do you have the client list to get her shop? Pam is like, for what? Because if you're trying to make her jealous, it's not going to work. He's like, no, what I'm actually trying to do is call some of her clients so that we could clean the shop up to save Karen some money since I know that she doesn't have any insurance. Pam's like, what are we saving money for? Because that gonna give her the money to rebuild the shop. Aaron's like, I don't think so. Because when I went over to see Karen, those two got into an argument, so I don't think he's gonna give her money. Pam knows that there's more to the story, so she wants a full tea and she wants it now. Some good old Lipton. And Aaron's like, I can't get into that right now. I'm like, why would you even bring that up? It was none of her business. You just wanted to say something. I was like, I'll see what I can do, but Aaron, when we're done with this, lose my number. Then we get to Danni and Preston. And these two are laying in the bed after doing the business. And they just in there talking. And Danny's like, what's wrong? Because you're not lasting as long as you used to. Preston's like, as long as you're pleased, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter about the time. And I was like, ooh, Preston, you better say that. Danni just expressing the fact that she's glad that he's there and she's glad that they're talking. And Preston had to open his big mouth and say, yeah, after your hot girl summer. Like, Preston, what a way to ruin the mood. And why did you have to bring that up? Danni was like, yeah, it was a lukewarm summer. And of course I learned my lesson. Preston was like, did you really learn your lesson though? She's like, yeah. Then Danni was like, you want to hit this? He's like, oh no, I want to hit that, not this pen. I was like, Preston, really? But then she finally gets him to hit the pen, and boy. We get to Calvin and Sabrina, and Sabrina is sitting on her couch watching TV, looking on her phone, but she looks very disinterested. So she gets a call from Calvin, and he's like, can I come over? She's like, how fast can you get here? He's like, fast, because I'm already outside. I'm like, why do all these men show up unannounced? I get that you called, right? You called when you're already outside, so it doesn't really count. And then he walks in and says, is your African boy here? I'm like, really, Calvin? Do you truly think if he was actually there that she would invite you over? Make that make sense. But no. He really comes over to tell her that everything that happened with Maurice and how he told her that he was wrong and he was wrong for this whole situation and that how he shouldn't have put Sabrina in it. And Sabrina was like, I don't want him to feel bad. And Calvin was like, I don't want him to feel bad either, and I don't want him to hurt himself. But you should have been smart about this. I asked her how she feels about this situation. And Sabrina says, I'm very angry. I'm very upset. I could lose everything, and I didn't do anything. And she tells Calvin, thank you for being here for me. Calvin's like, I'll always be here for you. Sabrina's like, enough talking about Maurice. What do you want to do? Calvin's like, anything that you want to do. We could sit up and talk like we used to. And Sabrina's like, okay, because I'm not interested in TV or the internet right now because everything is talking about crime. So she goes, what do you want to talk about? Calvin goes, anything. So she's like, time when I went to Barbados, I got bit by a pig. And I'm like, really, Sabrina? Then back at Logan's office, Logan gets back from talking to the DA. Apparently, that's what he says, but I don't think he did. So he tells Maurice that the DA wants to talk to him in the morning and that you should be prepared because he's looking at 15 years or you could take a deal. And he was like, I'm ready to do my time and I'm going to turn myself in because Sabrina didn't have anything to do with it. And Logan's like, I don't know what you're trying to cover up for her, but okay. Logan, why are you being so hard on Sabrina? You don't even know her. Like, we get to Karen and she's talking to her doctor and she says, I think I left some papers at the office. You don't have to email them. I'll come get them. And I'm like, so you didn't look at the results when you came to pick them up? That's the first thing you're supposed to do to make sure everything is correct. But then she calls Pam to see how everything's going and tells her that she's at the shop cleaning up and Aaron's here to help and also her client. Karen's like, I'm on my way because somebody could get hurt. She didn't say thank you, but I bet you if Zack was the one helping, she'd be up there like a kid in the candy store, smiling from ear to ear with all 32. She's at Zack and Fatima's house. Zack and Fatima are having a conversation as Fatima's getting ready for work. And Zack tells her, you know you was wrong, right? Fatima's like, yeah, I know. But I don't regret it, though, because I have to set boundaries. Zack is like, yeah, I know. And of course, and I won't talk to her unless it has something to do with the baby. And he's like, I also want to let you know that I told her that I would help her with her shop. Fatima's like, is that what you want to do? He's like, yeah. She's like, look, Zack, I don't hate her. I just want her to leave you alone. Then he's like, since we're talking about leaving you alone, what's going on with my son? And Fatima's like, well, you have a meeting tomorrow with a lawyer. He's like, are you going to be there for that? Fatima's like, yeah, of course. Zack is like, thank you for trusting me. She's like, yeah, I trust you. I know you didn't do anything. Then at Hayden's house, Gary comes over so that they can do a morning run. And Hayden looks sad. And he tells Gary that Tamara left him, and when he went to sleep, she was crying, and when he woke up, she was gone. And I'm like, Hayden, she already told you in the morning she was moving her stuff. So I don't know why you saying her lying. Gary's like, it's better that she left now before you actually fall for it. Hayden's like, is that what you did with Andi? Because you're projecting now. Gary's like, you can't really love somebody that you don't even know. He's like, come on, bro. Let's go for the run. He's like, by the time we're done running, she should call you. He's like, I don't even know where she lives. I know the city, though. Gary's like, how are you going to marry somebody and you don't even know where they live? Gary's like, at least I know where Andi lives. And Hayden's like, yeah, because you spent millions of dollars to put her there. I'm like, as much as I don't like Hayden, he's definitely reading Gary. But then he's like, our situation's different because Andi's saying a whole bunch of mean stuff to me about how she's 40 and she doesn't want to be with nobody that's cheating on her. Hayden's like, yeah, of course she would, because she's been talking to the lady, and they're the ones that's filling her head with that stuff. And Gary's like, it makes sense. At the law firm, we have Andi and Fatima talking after Andi demands that Fatima talks to her. It's given very much season 3 vibes when Karen found out that Zack and Fatima were sleeping with each other. So she goes into her office, and Andi's like, you know you were wrong, right? Fatima's like, yeah, I know I was wrong. And Andi's like, I guess you got here early because, we needed to talk. Fatima's like, yeah, and I was hoping that I would still have a job. I'm like, Fatima, Andi can't fire you because of something that happened outside of the job. Andi's like, you left here yesterday talking about how you was done with Zack. Fatima's like, yeah, I know. But when I got home, Zack laid it all out for me. That he loves Karen, but he doesn't love her as much as he loves me. Andi's like, yeah, I know. But do you believe that? Fatima's like, yeah, I do. Andi's like, you were still wrong, and Karen's pissed about the fact that you came to her house. He's like, you should really take time to think about things before you do them. Fatima's like, yeah, because the person that I have inside of me, she's not good, and when she's gone, she's gone. Fatima's like, I'm working on it, though. Why do you have so much stuff to say when it comes to Fatima and how she acts? But you are the last person, and you will never tell Karen how she acts. But you feel bold enough to tell Fatima? For real? Are you really that scared of Karen? If anything, I'd be scared of Fatima more than I'm scared of Karen. Oh yeah, Fatima paid the managers at the coffee shop to see the footage. And he tells her, well, I did something because me and Gary didn't have a good night. And then she shows Fatima her phone, and Fatima's like, you're on a dating site? And he's like, yeah, a very prestigious one. And you have to it's a very exclusive, and you have to be vetted before you even get on it. So she hands Fatima her phone, and Fatima starts going through the pictures, and Fatima recognizes somebody. And she tells Andi that she dated him, and the look on Andi's face looks so disappointed. I'm like, it hasn't even been a day since you left Gary, and you're already on a dating site. But it's okay. Hopefully you can find somebody better. Calvin and Sabrina wake up the next morning on the couch, and Sabrina wants Calvin to stay, but Calvin has to go to the office and do some work. He's like, I wish I could stay for your breakfast, but I'll call you later. She's like, okay. I forgot to add that Danni gave Preston her vape pen, and boy, he was high out of his mind. He couldn't feel his tongue, holding his tongue down because he was scared that it was going to fall out of his mouth, and his heart was beating so fast that he thought he stopped breathing, and he thought he was going to die, and all this other stuff. And so Danni put on some country music and laid him across her chest, and he went to sleep, and he was crying it out. Whatever Preston had, or whatever Danni gave him, I don't want it. Then we have Sabrina calling Danni and asking her, have she talked to Karen? And Danni's like, no. Sabrina's like, I think we should go to her house. Danni's like, for what? So we could get cussed out? You know that girl ain't gonna listen to us anyway. Sabrina's like, I don't think Andi should come because it's not gonna be good. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications. Bye.